This morning, we're live at Abundant Life Christian School with some important updates.
We're ready, all hands on deck.
And how the community came together once again to support the victims and how you can continue to help. Good Friday morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Kyrie Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We have a lot to get to. Temperatures finally warming up a little bit. Not quite as brutally cold as it has been.
I guess if that's your definition of warm.
Hey, it's all relevant this time of year, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's true.
I mean, 25 feels a heck of a lot better than 5,
yes,
right?
That's true. And the sun's been out, so I guess there's not too much
Hey, that certainly helps. That certainly helps. Look who we have in this morning. Jacob Montesano with your firstborn forecast. Hey there, Jacob.
Hey there, Chris. And yeah, you're right. It actually feels a balmy 25 out there, 24 specifically in Madison. Much of the area in the middle to upper 20s, a little bit colder, a little to the east. But take a look at these temperature differences from 24 hours ago. Some areas over 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, with everyone at least 10 degrees warmer. Now, temperatures like this are going to continue throughout the weekend, but they're not going to last much longer. Now, as we look at the current radar, we are seeing some passing snow showers. The snow has strengthened a little bit over the last hour or so, but the snow is still light to moderate, and each individual location will only see the snowfall for a brief period of time. But looking at Madison, those flurries kind of clearing out of the area, still seeing some of those lingering flurries. But over the next several hours, we'll continue to see that line of snow push off to the east. And then later in the day, we are going to continue to see some flurries, but accumulation will be very minimal. Now, as we look at the forecast, temperature is not going to change too much. And when we're not seeing flurries, we're going to see plenty of cloud cover, highs in the upper 20s, with more consistent snow in the forecast for the weekend. I'll have the details on that a little bit later.
All right, talk to you soon. Well, this morning we have a team out at Abundant Life Christian School.
That's right. Our Michelle Renee Quinn has an important update for this morning. What's happening, Michelle Renee?
Chris, Kyrian, we're back at Abundant Life because in just 2 hours, students and staff will have returned to school. Now, this will be their first time back since the devastating shooting that took place here December 16th. A 15-year-old girl opened gunfired, killing a 14-year-old student, a teacher, and herself. 6 other students were injured, including 2 that remain at the hospital in fair condition. On Tuesday, the ALCS basketball team beat Johnson Creek at a home game they hosted at Madison College. This week, Culver's and Texas Roadhouse participated in fundraisers organized by the United Way of Dane County. ALCS Principal Doug Butler released a video to families yesterday, preparing them for the return.
It will feel different. It will look different. It is different. There are security changes, both seen and unseen. We have also been trained to offer trauma-informed care to our students and to recognize trauma in ourselves.
Students will be arriving around 7:45 this morning, and I'll send it back to you guys in studio for the police update.
All right, Michelle Renee, we'll talk to you soon. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes did release a video update into the shooting investigation. Barnes says 21 shell casings and 2 firearms were collected from the scene. Barnes did not say where those firearms were purchased, though. He says detectives are still analyzing evidence to determine a motive.
No charging decisions will be made until detectives have had time to review all physical and digital evidence linked to this case. Again, this is a lengthy process, and there could be several more weeks or months before a decision is made.
Barnes added that detectives are in the process of writing search warrants and subpoenas to gather information from social media companies. Barnes said that process will likely result in tens of thousands of pages of data to review.
The greater Madison community continues to come together to support the victims of the tragedy. This time at Texas Roadhouse, our Armand Rahman reports.
This is not your typical Thursday night for any restaurant. I was told that by 6 p.m., more than 700 people had come through the West Side Texas Roadhouse location to have 100% of the cost of their good meal go to a good cause.
We're ready, all hands on deck.
All hands mean 25 servers, 5 to go, 5 bussers, 2 bartenders, and 35 people in the kitchen. But managing partner Michaela Besky says for all of them, it was a no-brainer.
But I asked if anybody would like to come and help and volunteer, and just about all of my staff raised their hands. So They were all ready.
It may sound like just a busy night of rolls and
Bring on the steak.
but the underlying reason, an appetite to help.
I think as a community, we're all impacted by the tragic events and feel the aftermath of what it's like to have something like this happen so close to home.
For some customers, it hit even closer to home than others.
My cousin's kids go to the school, and my cousin teaches there too. She teaches in high school.
Kyle Rogers remembers watching the tragedy unfold, not knowing how his family was doing.
Anxiety, just worried that they're hurt or if they're injured or that they were killed. They were all safe, thank goodness.
Since then, he came out to both this fundraiser and the Culver's drive-thru event earlier in the week.
I think it's amazing, you know. I think more communities should step up and help out.
All hands on deck, ready to lend a helping hand through an unimaginable struggle.
I think in some way this event impacted people directly and indirectly.
You can still donate by texting HELP for ALCS to the number 40403. Reporting on the west side of Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Well, in other news this morning, in a matter of hours, President-elect Donald Trump is set to be sentenced in his election interference case in New York City. It comes after the Supreme Court denied Trump's efforts to block the sentencing. May of last year, a jury convicted Trump of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in an attempt to cover up a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. The judge in the case signaled Trump would not face penalties or prison time in today's sentencing. Trump responded to the decision yesterday.
So I read it and I thought it was a fair decision, actually. So I'll do my little thing tomorrow. They can have fun with their political opponent.
Trump's lawyers argued sentencing should be delayed because it would interfere with the presidential transition. The court order said that Trump could appeal, though, through the standard legal process, which he is expected to do.
The city of Beloit has gained national attention recently. This follows the city's police department responding to community concerns about immigration status and enforcement when President-elect Trump takes office. Trump has promised the largest deportation event in U.S. history. Trump's pick to lead ICE, Tom Homan, has said that documented migrants and people born in the U.S. to undocumented parents could be deported. Beloit police made a post addressing concerns on January 2nd, saying immigration status is irrelevant to their mission, vision, and core values. Holman accused Beloit police of prioritizing, quote, the lives of illegal aliens over American citizens. Beloit Police Department's post said its department is dedicated to making sure all residents and visitors, regardless of immigration status, will have access to its services. They also said it will cooperate with ICE request of an undocumented person if they have engaged in or is suspected of terrorism, is reasonably suspected of being involved in a criminal street gang, is arrested for any violent felony, or is a previously deported felon and there's an independent basis for detaining or arresting them.
The name of the teen who is accused of killing and sexually assaulting Lily Peters has been released. He is identified as 16-year-old Carson Peters Berger. He faces several charges in connection with the April 2022 death of Peters. Wisconsin Court of Appeals ruled in September that he would be charged as an adult. His next court appearance is scheduled for June. A Dane County judge has appointed a special prosecutor to look into animal cruelty violations at a farm in Blue Mounds. Richland Farms breeds beagles for medical testing. They faced opposition by animal rights groups for years. The order stems from a hearing in October. That's when a group provided evidence of animal abuse and asked that a special prosecutor be assigned to the case. The evidence includes photos, documents, and video evidence. 6 witnesses provided testimony against the breeder.
The Department of Natural Resources says that since the 90s, recycling in Wisconsin has saved the equivalent of 5 landfills. But to get to that number, it takes money. New data from the Wisconsin Policy Forum says since 2011, state funding for recycling grants has remained at roughly $20 million. This means that with inflation, it covers less and less of local recycling.
So what's had to make up for that is fees to residents, property taxes, those sorts of things. And so, you know, it's been tougher to pay for recycling services because of that.
The report also found that due to the boom in online shopping, more people have been recycling cardboard. However, overall, the mass of recycling has broken down. That's in part due to using less material to create a product like plastic water bottles.
Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development's annual report shows record-breaking employment rates in 2024. It also saw consistently low unemployment rates at 2.9%. The state saw record highs in overall employment, apprenticeships, and disability employment. Over 3 million non-farm jobs were reported. Youth apprenticeship participation also hit new highs. Employee insurance rates also dropped for the 9th straight year, saving $206 million statewide.
The U.S. Department of Transportation is investing millions of dollars into Amtrak's Borealis service. The service runs from Chicago to Minneapolis with 8 stops in Wisconsin. The federal investment totals over $38 million. This funding looks to fill existing scheduled gaps in Wisconsin's commuter rail service. The project is a part of the bipartisan infrastructure law. It includes more than $102 billion in rail funding.
Governor Evers is declaring an energy emergency in our state. He says it's in part due to severe winter weather and the impacts that it's having on distribution of residential heating fuel. A statement from the governor's office reads, getting residential heating fuel like propane and heating oil moving now to those who need it will help Wisconsinites remain safe as we continue to face cool and freezing temperatures in the coming months. The executive order will provide a 30-day window for certain state and federal hours of service restrictions. That's so suppliers can get caught up from weather-related delays.
All right, well, let's check in with Jacob. What's coming up?
Well, we're going to see some snow this weekend, followed by very cold temperatures. I'll talk more in detail about both coming up after the break.
And ahead in your morning sports, we're talking Badger women's hockey. After a great first half of their season, they are only looking forward.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:14. The deadline for Mercy Health's 2025 scholarship is fast approaching. 7 $2,000 scholarships are available to graduating seniors or individuals already enrolled in college. Those eligible must be in Wisconsin and Illinois Mercy Health service areas. 5 of the scholarships will be awarded to students pursuing general health care careers. 2 will go to nursing students. The deadline to apply is February 7th.
Well, if you haven't checked your lottery tickets, you probably want to do that. A winning Powerball ticket has been sold at a Mauston grocery store. Wisconsin Lottery says a winning ticket sold at Mauston Festival Foods for the Wednesday night drawing. Winning numbers are 1, 20, 36, 38, 43, and the Powerball was 24.
All right, check those tickets. Well, let's check in now with meteorologist Jacob Montesano with your First One weather. Good morning.
Good morning. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We are going to see some flurries this morning throughout the day as well. And then we'll see a little bit more consistent snow for Saturday night and Sunday. We'll also see cold temperatures, especially for Monday and Tuesday. Now, we continue to see those snow showers kind of moving through our area. They continue to strengthen a little bit more moderate snow in far southern Wisconsin and Green, moving into Rock counties. And this is going to continue throughout the morning as this line of snow pushes off to the east. We'll likely see about a dusting to a ½ inch of snow with that line. But throughout the afternoon, we're going to be mostly dry. Could still see some flurries, especially later in the day. After sunset, we'll see some light flurries move through the area. But then during the day on Saturday, we are expected to be dry. But then later after sunset, Saturday evening, we'll see more consistent snow move back into our area. And this is expected to continue throughout the night into Sunday morning. But a little bit later in the morning, Sunday, it will clear out. So it's not expected to last too long, but it still will likely produce some snow-covered roads at times early in the morning. And then by Sunday afternoon, we'll just see some light flurries across the area, but none of that consistent snow that we're going to see overnight Saturday. So the snowfall for today, likely less than an inch, probably less than a ½ inch as well. But then as we get towards Saturday night and Sunday, we'll see about 1 to 2 inches, maybe a little bit more as you head further north and east. Now, the other story is that after the snowfall, we're going to see the temperatures drop quite a bit. We'll have wind chills in the single digits Saturday morning, so still cold, but it's going to be even colder for Monday, where wind chills will be in the negative teens, and then possibly near negative 20 for Tuesday morning. Now, it's going to warm up a little bit after that, but we're still going to see wind chills below 0. However, Tuesday morning especially, very cold temperatures are in the forecast. And then for Wednesday morning, we could see more wind chills below 0 as well as Thursday morning. But it will improve a little bit for Thursday, as highs will be near 30. And then we'll see temperatures kind of in the upper 20s, at least the high temperatures for next weekend, with very little snowfall after Sunday. So a very cold start to the work week following that snowfall on Sunday.
When it comes to Wisconsin men's basketball, there's a Minnesota to Wisconsin pipeline. Out of the 17 Badgers on the roster, 5 of them hail from the land of 10,000 lakes. So tonight's border battle hits a little different, especially if you're Nolan Winter. Both his parents were Gophers. His dad played basketball at Minnesota, and his mom was on the volleyball team. Nolan, well, he was the smart one and headed to Wisconsin, and he's definitely looking forward to some bragging rights.
Obviously, it's a bigger game for sure than the others, but my dad's and my mom both went there, but they're not trying to amp it up to me and get me a little more riled up. I mean, we all know kind of it means a little more, but I would say it's not as much pressure as a freshman coming in here knowing that, you know, we're going against my home state, who obviously is a good team. I was really nervous last year, but going into this year, I'm kind of more comfortable.
High school girls hoops, Argyle Pecatonica hosting Albany Monticello in a battle of unbeatens. Space Stallions got off to a good start. Delana Trumpy spinning and winning in the paint to give Albany Monticello an early 7-point lead. Avery Steiner doing her part to bring the home team back. She's gonna dial one up from deep for 3 of her 9 first-half points. Steiner finished with 15. But the Orioles could not contain Heidi Olson, the freshman. Stops and pops for 2. Olson dropped in 15, and Albany Monticello moves to 13-0 with a 51-46 win. Wisconsin women's hockey now turns their attention to Minnesota State, and this series has been all Badgers. Mark Johnson's squad has beaten the Mavericks 18 straight times, and they haven't lost to them at home since 2014. They swept them in Mankato about a month ago, but all that is in the past. The only thing this group's focused on now is their next skate, and that's Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Don't get distracted by anything, you know, don't look at anything other than what's ahead. I mean, don't look in the rearview mirror, because if you look in the rearview mirror, eventually you're going to run into something.
Foot is on the gas at all times, and that's kind of what we work for in practice. And then as a group, it's kind of just like, all right, now it's time to play the game. We've done the work in practice. Let's just have fun out there.
And just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with Layla Edwards. Show airs tonight at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. And that's it for morning sports. Have a great day.
You too, Zach. Still ahead, a Hollywood actor makes a huge pledge for the California fire victims.
We're back right after this. .6:23 on your Friday morning. This photo here from Jim.
Jim.
Yeah, Jim, way to go here. He says a morning of ice fishing. So look at that sky there. This is like the perfect picture, and I guess the perfect scene for some ice fishing.
Yeah, when there's not a lot of snow on the ground, it helps create thicker ice on the lakes. Kind of when there is snow on the ground, it will act as like a blanket over that snow, or over that ice rather. Now we may see that snow this weekend, but the last couple weeks temperatures have been below freezing, no snow on the ground, and that has created perfect conditions for the ice. Now we still have had some problems, unfortunately, because it's not completely frozen over, but some of those smaller lakes definitely good ice fishing weather right now.
All right, be safe out there, Jim. Well, trending this morning, the wildfires in LA that a lot of people are thinking about, but among the tragedy is some generosity and some hope. Actor Jamie Lee Curtis, one of the many celebrities who had to flee this week's wildfires in California, says her family is going to donate $1 million to relief efforts. The Oscar winner, in a post on Instagram page, said that she and her husband, actor and director Christopher Guest, along with their children, have started a fund. Curtis said that she was in contact with officials as to where those funds need to be directed for the most impact. I'd love to hear this.
Yes.
Amid the tragedy right now, there's so many people hurting, lives destroyed, but it's what comes after when the community comes together, rallies around one cause. You get people who started by doing things like this.
Yes, I love this.
Well, hey, Green Bay is getting ready to host the NFL draft in a couple of months. And a family with a house near Lambeau is giving back. The Burns family is known for tailgating hospitality on game days. They host fans for free. They ask for $15 to park in the yard, and they give a lot of that money back. They've given it thousands and thousands of dollars over the years, $20,000 just last year. They also host a charity raffle where the Burns are planning to open their garage once more during the draft in late April and, again, give those proceeds back to the community.
Right around the corner here, gonna be big for Wisconsin in general.
See that? Love to party there. That'd be a fun game day atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, Jacob, what do we got coming up in your forecast?
Yeah, we're seeing some light snow now, and we'll see more consistent snow once we get to Saturday night and early Sunday. But then after that snowfall, we're going to see some pretty cold temperatures Monday, Tuesday. Now, that only shows the actual temperatures. The morning for Tuesday, the forecast low is 0, but the wind chills could be near -20 as we'll see some breezy weather. The winds won't be too bad, but just a little bit of wind creates very cold wind chills when the temperatures are that cold. So.
I don't know your football team. Sorry to interrupt you.
I'm a Bears fan. I'm sorry. I'm a Packers fan.
That's sad.
Finally beat you guys, though.
I'm not a Packers fan.
Who do they play this weekend?